WWE was awesome this week.
This is Bretto live on YouTube.
What is going on, guys? Bretto live back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown from this past week in the brand new Week in Review episode 272 setup. We're going to be starting off with Monday Night Raw. Halfway through the video, we're going to be jumping into SmackDown. So let's start off with Monday Night Raw from Denver, Colorado. We're back in the U.S., baby. Opened up Monday Night Raw with a little recap on Bash in Berlin, and then we got introduced to our brand new commentating team on Raw, consisting of Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore. Joe Tessitore has an amazing commentator voice, and I think him and Wade Barrett did an amazing job throughout this show. We opened up the show with Ria Ripley. Ria Ripley coming out talking about Bash in Berlin and how her and her terror twin Damien Priest came out on top, beating Dom and Liv. But of course, she gets interrupted by Dominic Mysterio, who could barely even get a word in. I could barely hear a word he said. He literally got booed the snot out of. And then it turns out it was all just a plot. Liv Morgan would attack Ria Ripley from behind with a little distraction from Dom, and Liv would literally injure Ria. Ria got sent over the top rope. Her feet got caught into the rope like this, and then Liv was just hammering down on the leg of Ria. I was like, holy cow, this is brutal, man. She's gonna literally injure Ria Ripley again and start the revenge tour literally all over again. Luckily, Damian Priest came out to help Ria scare away Liv and Dom, and then he was able to help out Ria and get her out of the ropes, get her to medical attention, and check her out. But this was a heck of a way to open up the show. They really had me thinking they were going to injure Ria again. I was like, bro, what? Our opening match was awesome. It was Alpha Academy, Otis, Akira Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree going up against American Maid in a 6-person tag team match. Yes, 6-person, because it was mixed gender. We had Maxine and Ivy Nile in the match. It was Ivy Nile, Brutus, and Julius Creed. This was a heck of a match. I love American Maid's entrance, how freaking Chad Gable hyped him up by slapping the living snot out of Julius Creed. Like, he literally slapped the snot out of Julius, and Julius had to pop in his freaking mouth guard real quick. But yeah, match was amazing. Just non-stop action up until the end, where we saw Chad Gable hop on the apron after Maxine Dupree was about to hit the Caterpillar and pick up the victory over Ivy Nile for the team, but then Chad Gable distracted her. Ivy Nile was able to take advantage, tap out Maxine Dupree to take the W for American Maid. After the match, Chad Gable and the rest of American Maid challenged the Wyatt Six to an 8-man tag team match next week, and the Wyatt Six came out and accepted. It was weird seeing Bo Dallas talk through the mask and into the microphone as Uncle Howdy in the arena. I was like, this is very interesting, because I'm so used to Bo Dallas cutting his promos like in pre-recorded videos, but seeing him live out in the arena, it was very interesting. He did a heck of a job. The rest of the Wyatt Six would come behind him, and they would kind of just stare down American Maid, but there was no physical brawl here. It kind of just cut off. But yeah, we're going to be seeing an 8-man tag team match between the Wyatt Six and American Maid. Dude, I cannot wait for that. This is probably the most disappointing thing on the entire show. Shayna Baszler went up against Selena Vega. Selena Vega had an amazing entrance, man. If you guys are wondering the significance why she grabbed that sign from the barricade from that fan, that was the name of her father, who had passed away on September 11th, 2001 in the 9/11 attacks. So she got really emotional when she saw that sign, and I could totally understand. That was really heartfelt and really awesome by that fan. It literally got Selena Vega emotional. I was like, oh my gosh. And then she goes into this match, faces Shayna Baszler, and Shayna Baszler literally squashes her. I'm like, are you kidding me? This was basically a 3-on-1 handicap match, because you gotta remember, you had the rest of PFC on ringside. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? Selena Vega would take the L, Shayna Baszler would hit her with a big knee, 1, 2, 3, it was all over from there. After the match, they do a little 3-on-1 beatdown, and then here comes Lyra Valkyria to try to help out Selena Vega a little bit, but it doesn't really work out. They both end up getting beat up by the PFC, and then Sonya Deville cuts this stupid little promo talking about how no man can take them home. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Isn't this about wrestling? What the heck is going on? But yeah, anyways, this should have been Selena Vega, dude. It really should have. This is lame. CM Punk thought he was going to have an easy night. He thought he was going to come out to the ring and celebrate his win over Drew McIntyre in the strap match. He's going to move on. He got his bracelet back. He's going to go home, hang out with his wife, hang out with his dog. Nope. As he celebrates with the Denver crowd, he walks over by the announce desk and gets tripped up on the announce desk, just like he did to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 40. I'm like, oh my god, it's Drew. Drew is not done with Punk. We're going to get our Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood. You best bet it. I hope we do. This rivalry deserves to go to Hell in a Cell, and I cannot wait until it does. Drew McIntyre brutalized CM Punk, even to the point where he Claymored him over the announce desk, tore up the bracelet, put it in the mouth of CM Punk, and then hit him with another Claymore. CM Punk was literally choking on the beads as he was getting loaded up in the ambulance, and then Drew would attack again while he was being loaded up in the ambulance. There was blood spewing from the mouth of Punk. This was an insane beatdown, and once again, this is a beatdown that deserves to go to Hell in a Cell. It has to. It has to. Punk got stretchered out again. Like, oh my gosh, how many times is this gonna happen? They need to finish this inside of the cell. They really do. I loved this so much. I knew Punk wasn't just gonna have a celebration. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, Drew McIntyre literally claymored CM Punk out of his shoes. I'm not even joking. It was a triple threat match with the opportunity to get into that fatal four-way to become #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship that Braun Breaker currently holds. It was Dragon Lee. Yes, I do realize that's Kalisto. Dragon Lee, Dominic Mysterio, and Elia Dragonov. This match was pretty good. The Judgment Day tried to come out to try to help out Dominic win this match, but then Damien Priest would come out, even up the odds, scare away Carlito, and then kind of get Dom out of the equation as well. He would scare away Dominic Mysterio. It was left with just a one-on-one match between Elia and Dragon Lee, and Elia Dragonov picked up the victory pretty easily. I'm not gonna lie, he kind of did like this corkscrew, like uppercut maneuver to Dragon Lee, and then picked up the victory. He's gonna be part of the Fatal 4-Way match, which I'm really excited about. As far as the triple threat, I thought it was pretty decent. Another disappointing result. This was a women's tag team championship #1 contenders match. We had Bianca and Jade, the current champs, on ringside watching this match as Damage Control went up against the Unholy Union, and this should have been Damage Control, bro. I have no clue why it wasn't. Io Sky and Kairi Sane deserved this victory so much. We saw Kairi Sane jump off the top rope and incidentally hit Bianca Belair and hit her face on the announce desk, causing her face to bleed. I was like, oh my god, Kairi Sane, you good? And then it would lead to the loss. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn picked up the victory over Damage Control. Can you believe that? Bro, this should have been Damage Control. Because then after the match, Damage Control goes face to face with Jade and Bianca. Like, why? Why even do that if they're not gonna be facing them? I don't know. Unholy Union should not be #1 contender. Gunther was celebrating his victory at Bash in Berlin over Randy Orton, and I knew that somebody was gonna come out and interrupt this. His next challenger being Sami Zayn. I love what they're doing here. Sami Zayn's the only one to pin Gunther in the past couple years, man. He beat him for the IC title to ruin that long reign that Gunther had. You remember? WrestleMania 40, bro? So how appropriate is this that Sami Zayn could be the one to dethrone Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship? And let me tell you something. Gunther is scared. Gunther never backs down from challenges, man. He didn't back down from a challenge from Randy Orton, dude. He backs down from this challenge from Zayn. He's like, nah, my answer's no. And then Sami calls him out. He's like, I know you're scared of me. I was the only one to pin you and beat you for that IC title. I'm going to do the same for that World Heavyweight. I can't wait for this match, even though Sami's probably going to lose, but I like the story behind it. This was a pretty intense interaction backstage. Jay was getting interviewed by Jackie Redman, and then here comes freaking Braun Breaker, who confronts Jay and says, if you win that tournament, I'll be waiting for you. And then Jay called Braun Breaker a rookie. Oh my god, bro. All right, rookie. Dude, you don't call Braun Breaker a rookie, man. He's going to tear you up. But most likely, Jay's going to win that Fatal 4-Way, face Braun Breaker, and I'm excited about it, man. This was an intense interaction backstage. It was our other triple threat match of the night where Sheamus went up against Braun Strowman and Ludwig Kaiser. Braun Strowman took the spot of Bronson Reed. They said Bronson Reed wasn't able to compete because he wasn't medically cleared last week. Obviously, he went through Braun Strowman through a vehicle, so that's a pretty good cover-up for that. Braun Strowman took his spot and delivered. He picks up the victory, hit the running power slam on Ludwig Kaiser, and he's going to be the last member added to that Fatal 4-Way, so we got our match for the IC title #1 contendership, which is awesome. Braun shockingly won this with his injuries, but he had a little help from Pete Dunne, who would attack Sheamus yet again, screw him in this triple threat match by whacking him with an extra long shillelagh, just like that. Butch, excuse me, Pete Dunne takes out Sheamus and screws him out of this match. Jackie Redman accidentally called Pete Dunne Butch backstage. I thought he was going to hit Jackie Redman. Damien Priest wanted a matchup against that new lame Judgment Day, but he needed a tag team partner. Rhea Ripley was injured, so he needed to find somebody, and he found Jay Uso. Jay Uso teamed with Damien Priest. How weird does that sound? They faced JD McDonough and Finn Balor, the current WWE Tag Team Champions, and they freaking tagged great together. End of this match, Rhea Ripley comes down because Liv Morgan was trying to get involved. She pushed Jay Uso off the top rope, so Rhea came down with the crutch. Pretending she was injured, throws the crutch aside and attacks Liv Morgan. Let's go. And then meanwhile, back in the ring, Damien Priest, South Heaven to JD, then we saw the frog splash to JD, and then Jay and Damien pick up the victory. They celebrate, and Jay definitely impressed mommy. Yeet. Dude, are they gonna do a Ria Ripley Jay Uso relationship angle? That would be freaking insane. But I loved Jay and Damien Priest tagging together. They did a great job, man. This was an awesome way to end the show. But yes, that was Monday Night Raw from Denver, Colorado. Rating this episode of Raw this week, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. This was an amazing episode. It really freaking was. My favorite moment was definitely the CM Punk beatdown. Even though he's my favorite of all time, this just gives me the itch to want to see them fight in Hell in a Cell. I know it's gonna happen, and I can't wait. Let's jump into SmackDown now. The final episode of SmackDown on Fox. Can you believe it? Been on Fox for the past 5 years, since 2019. That's absolutely insane. I love the montage that they had in this show talking about it, and they gave the respects to Fox. I mean, it was a great run on Fox. Moving to USA next week here for SmackDown, and I can't wait. Every single WWE show next week is on USA. Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. Freaking insane. Here's Friday Night SmackDown, last episode on Fox from Edmonton, Canada. We are going to talk about it right now. Opening up the show with Cody Rhodes reminiscing on Bash in Berlin. Before he could talk anymore, he even knew it was coming. He gets interrupted by the Bloodline. The Bloodline come out. Solo Sikoa says, I want my rematch for that title. If it wasn't for Roman Reigns, I would have that title over my shoulder. And then Cody Rhodes tried to drive a little wedge in the Bloodline with Jacob Fatu, who was on ringside. He's like, Jacob Fatu, I want to give you an opportunity, not Solo. Solo doesn't deserve it. You do. But Jacob's like, no, I acknowledge Solo. I acknowledge Solo. It looked to be like a 4-on-1 beatdown here. It looks like they were going to take out Cody. And then Cody gets some backup in the form of DIY and Street Profits. They kind of stand behind him. And Nick Aldis is like, unless you want to be suspended, do not lay a finger on each other. And then next week, he made a big match. Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa inside of a steel cage for the WWE Undisputed Championship. That's going to be amazing. And he made an 8-man tag team match for the main event. Nick Aldis making some big moves over here in this opening segment. I loved this, man. This was goated. Bayley looked to get a little revenge here on Tiffany Stratton, and she absolutely did. Even with Nia Jax trying to help out Tiffany Stratton, Bayley still overcame the odds. She hit a little suicide dive to take out Nia Jax, who was on ringside. She came out near the end of the match, and then she was able to hit the Rose Plant on Tiffany Stratton, pick up the victory, and beat Miss Money in the Bank. Pretty big victory right there. You got to think Bayley's going to be gunning for that title that's around Nia's shoulders. She's got to be, man. And the funny thing is, if it wasn't for Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton would have had this victory. Because she had Bayley pinned for 1, 2, 3, 4. Garza was celebrating their victory that they had over Corbin and Apollo Crews last week, and Santos was like, why are you guys shocked about your victory? Why are you shocked about your success? We should not be shocked about our success. I was like, that's actually a pretty fire explanation there. Santos is like, we are success. We embrace it. We are Legado de Fantasma. Pretty hyped dinner, and then they all drank to that, I guess. A debut that I've actually really been looking forward to, okay? Giovanni Vinci, he had his SmackDown debut match going up against Apollo Crews. And going into this match, I was like, okay, this is probably just going to be a little enhancement match for Giovanni Vinci. They're going to make him look good. They're going to make him look rich. He's going to beat Apollo. No, that did not happen. The bell rang as Giovanni Vinci was trying to take his entrance wardrobe off. Apollo Crews, he stacks him up, rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. Giovanni Vinci loses his SmackDown debut match in under 10 seconds. Absolutely insane. It caught me insanely off guard because I've actually been looking forward to this debut, and they just made him look like a joke. They're definitely going to do a rematch here, and Gio will beat Apollo. But this just caught me off guard, and I feel like everybody off guard. Gotta love when the action figure looks exactly like they did on television. Kevin Owens was wearing this exact t-shirt on SmackDown, and Kevin Owens requested a triple threat match with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, which is very interesting because Austin Theory and Grayson Waller have been having some relationship issues over the past couple months, I'm saying now, which is insane. But Kevin requested this triple threat match. It kind of felt like a 2-on-1 handicap match, but Waller and Theory did have a couple miscommunications. I thought Theory was going to hit Waller at a point. I loved the powerbomb through the table. Kevin Owens came out of the box hot. In the end, Kevin Owens actually picked up the victory, man. He did. He had a wicked stunner on Austin Theory. Austin Theory sold it like a champ. It was insane. He flew up in the air. I was like, whoa, that was an insane sell. I love overselling the stunner. I think that is so cool. Some people don't like it. I think it's awesome. After the match, like immediately, Grayson Waller attacks Kevin Owens, and it was a 2-on-1 beatdown, and then Waller and Theory just absolutely destroy Kevin. I was like, what the heck? Setting up for a tag team match next week. Kevin Owens is going to have to find a tag team partner. I don't know who he's going to get, but he's got a match with A-Town Down Under next week. Bro, Theory's just got to turn face already, bro. Enough of this. He has to turn face. LA Knight had a little promo about the United States Championship and how he's had 2 perfect defenses with that title. He got interrupted by Carmelo Hayes first. And then here came Andrade, because Andrade is like, wait, I also deserve this opportunity because I have 2 victories over you. You have 2 victories over me. They need one more match, and then the winner of that match faces LA Knight. Hey, screw that. Dude, do a triple threat. Andrade, Carmelo, and LA for the U.S. title. I think that would be better than a one-on-one match. Hey, you never know. Maybe this match ends in controversy. Maybe a double count out or something, and then we see a triple threat. I'd be down. It ended with LA Knight delivering 2 BFTs to both Andrade and Carmelo while they were complaining to each other. This was a funny promo. I liked it. Chelsea Green takes a big W over Michin Mia Yim. Okay, so this crooked referee had his back turned to Michin for an over-exaggerated 10-15 seconds, allowing for Piper Niven to deliver a big senton to Michin on the outside of the ring. I'm like, bro, turn around, referee. What are you doing? Never even seen this referee before. He was definitely a crooked referee. That did lead to Chelsea Green picking up the victory with her finishing maneuver, and it was all over from there. Chelsea Green picks up a victory. Super weird, bro. What? Main event of the show was absolute chaos. It was an 8-man tag team match, Bloodline versus Street Profits and DIY. I loved the spot where Ford delivered the suplex to Tama Tonga off the top rope to the outside of the ring on top of absolutely everybody. This was literally sick. I liked this match, but the ultimate equalizer was Jacob Fatu, bro. Nobody can touch Jacob Fatu. He absolutely destroyed everybody, allowing for Solo Sikoa to get the pinfall. I was like, bro, Jacob Fatu, you had that pinfall victory, but Solo had to deliver 2 spikes to Montez Ford and then pin Ford. I was like, bro, Jacob Fatu deserved that pinfall, man. Solo's totally taking advantage of Jacob Fatu. And then they end the show with the Bloodline on top. No interruptions, nobody coming out, no Roman, nothing like that. Bloodline is looking good. That was Friday Night SmackDown in a nutshell. Let me know what you guys thought about the last episode of SmackDown on Fox. I thought it was pretty decent. Not too amazing, but it was still pretty decent. My favorite moment / match was easily the 8-man tag team match. This was a lot of fun. And ranking this show out of 10, I am going to be giving it a 6 out of 10. Stay tuned for next week where we run it back and we talk about Raw and SmackDown again. And I will see you guys next time. Bretto Live is signing out.
It's been a long, long time since I found my way around. All these thoughts in my mind, I'm searching for